I'm hitting record. Good evening, Team 180. I'm so excited. If you don't know me, my name is Brittany McMillan, and I am one of Emily's personally sponsored coaches. I started coaching about 2.5 odd years ago in October 2013, something like that. Yeah. So I started this crazy ride, and I kind of wanted to start out tonight. The whole theme of tonight is run your race. And so when I was trying to decide on a theme and what to chat about, I just kept looping through, like, what value can I add to you in your businesses? What value can I give to you that maybe I've already been down that road, and so I can solve a problem that maybe you're already experiencing, or at least offer some support, that you're not alone in this race as a coach. But ultimately, the whole idea behind tonight is that you've got to run your own race, that this is such a cool opportunity, because as coaches, there's no cookie cutter. I mean, there's things we've got to do, and we're going to talk about that tonight, but the race is yours. It's as slow as you want it to go. It's as many miles, as long as you want this race to be. It can be a race of 1 month and then the race is over for you, or it can be a race for 5 years, and whatever that means for you. But tonight's theme is called Run Your Race. So I'm going to kind of dive in. So this business, before I even start that, let me tell you a little bit about my story. So like I said, my name's Brittany McMillan, and I started coaching about 2.5 years ago in October of 2013. And I started coaching on a whim. I was one of those people that I bought Insanity off of Amazon. And I will totally admit that. So I didn't have a coach. I had Insanity and I had the whole program, but I didn't have a coach. I was not linked to Beachbody. I did not drink Shakeology, none of the above. Like, I am like, shame on you. Don't start like that. I am what everyone hates, right? Like, how did she get Insanity? She doesn't even have a coach. That's me. So I bought Insanity because I had a friend that got really amazing results using Insanity. And I was super inspired by her. So I'm like, you know what? I'm totally going to order Insanity. So I ordered Insanity probably after the summer of 2012. Okay. Yeah. And so I ordered Insanity then. Well, I didn't touch it. It sat on the shelf. It was in a box. I'm going to just mute everybody really quick. So if anybody else comes in, they're already pre-muted. Perfect. So I bought Insanity, like I said, on Amazon, and then I continued to let it sit on the shelf, because that's what we do when we don't have a coach. We let our programs just sit on the shelf and collect dust because we don't have any accountability. So I let it sit on the shelf, and then before the summer of 2013, so like it's almost been a year, people, that it sat on the shelf, I was like kind of in a place where I just needed something. I needed some sort of outlet. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to spend this summer doing Insanity. That's what I'm going to do. And I was kind of in a low point in my life. Like, I didn't know I wasn't happy, but I was on the verge of figuring that out, that I was just not happy in my situation. So anyway, I did Insanity that summer. And as I was doing Insanity, just like when you buy a new car, when you buy a new car and you're like, you've never seen that car before ever. Like, and then you buy it, and everywhere you look is like, oh my gosh, they have a Kia Soul, and oh my gosh, there's my car. And so everybody has your car. It was like that. I started to notice people who were doing Insanity. And Emily Copeland, our fearless leader, happened to be one of those people who was doing Insanity. And I knew nothing about like what she was doing, except that she was posting a lot about her journey. And I was not posting a lot about my journey, but I was watching like a secret stalker while she was posting all summer long. And so fast forward now to the fall, and she posts this thing, and I know she's been talking about Insanity, and then all of a sudden she posts a video about the coaching opportunity. And I immediately, like, I don't remember, Emily and I go back before this. We worked together at Lowe's. Holler, college, like, jobs, right? So we worked at Lowe's together. And so I messaged her and was like, yeah, I kind of want to be a coach. Well, like, fast forward, literally, I'm the type that I make like a decision. I don't think about anything. I just decide. And that's maybe a good and a bad thing in my life. But I just decided, you know what? I'm going to buy a challenge pack. I'm going to get T25. I'm going to get Shakeology, and I'm going to be a coach all in one. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And so I did it. I got that stuff. And I will tell you that the T25, again, sat on my shelf unopened for about a year. It sat on my shelf with nothing, because I was training for a marathon and I was training for some races, and I just simply could not do a program with all of these other trainings that I was doing. My plate was just too full. But I did drink my shakes, and I did learn a lot from Emily about what coaching was. Okay. So that's where I started. I started coaching on a whim. I was not happy in the current situation I was in my life, and I just needed kind of an out. And 2.5 years later, guys, that is the out. Like when I talk about that's the out, like that's the life-changing out. Oh my gosh, this opportunity is so much more than shakes and DVDs and asking somebody to join your challenge group. Like it's so beyond that. This business is a metaphor for life, a complete metaphor for life. It's how we live the best versions of ourselves. And the thing is, and how I'm going to open this up tonight as I get into my actual content. Guys, I'm so long-winded, by the way. I will just you're going to have to hit a timer button when I'm going over. But what I am actually going to talk about tonight, now that my story is done, is can you handle that? Can you handle that race? The actual race of being the best version of yourself. And quite honestly, most people in this world cannot. They can't handle looking themselves in the mirror and pointing out their own flaws and saying, enough is enough of that flaw, and I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to do it, gosh darn it. And it's really hard to look at yourself and say, man, and do a gut check and just look at, I don't do this in my business, and I don't do that. But you know what? When you don't do those little things in your business, it's an actual metaphor for what you're not doing in your life and the excuses you're making in your life, because fitness and life and all this stuff, it just goes crazy hand in hand. So I've got a bunch of I wrote normally for my webinars for my team, we have a weekly webinar every Thursday night, and I have it diligently written in my journal, and it's so perfect for that, and it's in order. This is not. It is in the way that my mind was flowing this morning as I was getting everything out of my head and onto paper, and it just came out in that order. So that's what I'm going to go with. And if I circle back to things, I apologize. But I just want to give you more of my heart tonight about this race and just some things that I've encountered over the last 2.5 years that I want you to know you're not alone with. And also what makes this just so crazy cool and how you can actually be successful by embracing some of these things. So the first thing I'm going to point out is that you've got to do a program. I want you to write this down, for real, write this down. Do a program from start to finish. Guys, that's what I missed when I first started coaching. I ordered T25 and I didn't do it. I put it on the shelf and I didn't do it. And when I asked people to join my challenge groups, they're like, well, what's a challenge group? And what's this program? And I didn't have people wanting to be a part of my following because I wasn't showcasing what I was doing. I wasn't doing it. How the heck can those people ever really, truly, really want to do a program if they haven't witnessed what it can do for you first? So guys, I encourage you, if you have not done a program get out the calendar right here of 22-minute hardcore, baby. I'm talking check, check, check. You don't miss a day. You don't miss a beat. Your eating is on point. And when you do miss, you figure out a way to fix it and work around it, and you share that. Guys, you got to do a program. You got to do a lot of them. So once you finish that first program, find another one and then share that one. And then do another one and share that one. And just keep doing that. Okay, do it a lot. I also encourage you on the flip side to do other fitness. You're going to become a broken record if you're simply only doing the same program over and over and over again. People want to know, what else does Beachbody have to offer? But also, what do you have to offer in fitness? Why should I trust you? I mean, all you do are these DVDs. What do you know about fitness? Start exploring and experimenting other things that you can do, okay? Eat well and share that too, guys. We're coaches, and I know there's not you don't have to be a nutritionist, and you don't have to be an expert in fitness. You don't have to be a personal trainer, but man, oh man, when you've got your stuff together and you're eating right and you're sharing about it and you have figured out a formula that works, there's some power in that, and people are going to flock to you. So do a lot of fitness, do a lot of eating right, share about it, but man, do a program from start to finish and document that entire journey if you haven't yet, and share those before and afters. Okay, the next one that just spewed out of my brain was be limitless. Something I find that, and I talk about myself when I say I find, is that when I first started this business, there were limits that I had placed on what I could do. I don't know what Instagram is. I don't have an Instagram, so I'm just not going to do it. Or, I'm just not good with technology. I used to say that. And if I say that anymore, Team 180, please be my vindicator now. Brittany, you are good at technology. So I used to say that all the time. I'm just not good at technology. You know what? I'm kind of good at technology now. You know why? Because when I didn't know what to do, I Googled it. I Googled it. I didn't know how to blog. I didn't know how to set up a blog, and I Googled it. It's out there. So I want you to be limitless. Don't put barriers around what you can and can't do in this business. And for the things that maybe are restricting you right now because of your current status, financial situation, or anything like that, man, put it down on like a dream list. Like, I'm going to own a better digital camera one day because my pictures aren't the best quality, and I want better quality pictures because I think that could really take my business forward, but I don't have the finances to buy that camera. Man, write that down somewhere that like, I'm going to own this camera one day. Right? I did that, guys. I mean, there's power in that. When I started this business, my laptop was this dinosaur boat. I mean, I'm sure Emily might remember. I took it to my first summit, and it's like a briefcase is like how thick this laptop was that I owned. It was ridiculous. And I mean, I prayed and I wrote down on my dreams, like my vision list, that I would have a better laptop. And by golly, I got that better laptop. It took time. But that didn't stop me. It wasn't like, oh, my computer stinks, so I'm just not going to be a Beachbody coach. Be limitless, guys. Don't use excuses and barriers. If you want to learn how to blog, learn how to blog. If you need to learn how to do Snapchat or Instagram or any other form of social media beyond Facebook, learn it. Everything takes time, right? So just give yourself a head start and start now learning it. Maybe learn a skill. You can get certified in so many things with Beachbody, Patio, Insanity, Size. They're going to certify people this summer in the New Country Heat. Go get certified if that's kind of your thing. Maybe you want to get out in front of people live and teach a class. Get a skill if that's where you're looking. And then I kind of touched on this a second ago, but write out a crazy list. If there's a barrier in your life, if there's something in your life that you're saying, I don't have that yet, and that is what I need to go to the next level, write it down that you need it. And visualize having it. Put it out there in the universe that you want that in your life, okay? And I swear there's power in that. That's going to come to you. Okay, moving on. So we already said do a program from start to finish. Be limitless, right? Next one. There are 4 vital behaviors in Beachbody, guys. I don't know if y'all heard, but there are 4 vital behaviors, and these changed my life, okay? So I already kind of talked about being proof that the product works, but seriously, guys, be proof that the product works. You got to use and abuse the stuff that we've got, okay? You've got to share it, and share it in attractive ways. You want to share things so that people are intrigued by what you're doing. You don't need to share your shake every day and say, look at this cup of shake. I mean, everybody's got a cup of some shake, right? Share a recipe of how you can make Shakeology into a protein bite, or how you can turn Shakeology, like put it into your oatmeal to enhance what's going on in your morning routine, or adding Shakeology to make ice cream at night because you've got this sweet tooth that you just can't kick. Like that kind of stuff, guys, there's power in that, because all of a sudden people are like, whoa, this shake like does stuff. It does other stuff. It's not just a drink. So share that kind of stuff. So be proof that the product works. The invitation process. I did a webinar the other week on this with my team, and it's not invite. It's attract, connect, and invite. And they've talked about that. Carl Deichler's spoken about that to our new coaches, and there's podcasts. If you go on your phone and get that Team Beachbody podcast app, guys, and re-listen to those while you're driving or doing whatever you're doing. But attract, connect, and invite. It's not about just bombarding people. You want to attract them, you want to connect with them, and then invite them to whatever it is that they need from you. Okay? But personal development, kicker, serious kicker, game changer in my life. In those times of my business, I will talk about this later in the end, but I'm slow and steady here in this business, slow and steady. And personal development is what keeps me hanging on. On the days when I'm not feeling it, personal development. And when I mean not feeling it, I don't mean necessarily like coaching. I mean, when I'm just not, like when I don't have confidence in myself as a woman, or when the world just seems heavy, because sometimes it does, personal development is key in this business. So please don't shrug that off. And the 4th vital behavior, guys, is recognition. And it feels so good. I mean, seriously, to recognize people for their successes and achievements beyond Success Club, beyond volume, beyond moving up in rank, things like shouting out a challenger because they decided, I think Emily just shouted one out earlier today about her challengers skipped dessert this weekend. Like, hello, that's recognition. That's amazing. That's fighting the good fight. So that 4th vital behavior too, practicing recognition. And like I said, it just feels good. It feels good to give it, and it feels good to get it. So check those out. Your 4 vital behaviors are vital for a reason. Do not skip over them. Okay. Building a brand that's you. So this kind of goes along with the whole race thing. Build a brand that's you. It's not about getting on social media and simply just trying to get people to get into a challenge group or join the coaching opportunity. It's about building a foundation that beyond Beachbody, it cannot crumble. And building a foundation, it's got to be unique to you. And I think something that's difficult when we talk about brand building is that a lot of people oftentimes think that they don't have something to offer. Like, I don't really have a brand. I'm kind of just like that girl over there. We're kind of similar. We're the same. No, you're not. If you were the same, you would be the same. You'd be literally the same. You're not. You are uniquely and wonderfully you. So you've got to embrace that, and you've got to share that with the world, because that's the gift you were given, was you and who you are. Nobody, not a single one of us on this call can be you in the same way that you can be you. So you've got to remember that. So I challenge you to find some time, if you don't really know your brand per se, beyond Beachbody, beyond just talking about challenge packs and whatnot, I encourage you to find 3 or 4 words that totally describe you. When I'm running my race and the different seasons of life that I walk through, when I run this race, I have to look at myself and look at what 3 or 4 key things are important about me in that time of my life. And that's what I'm going to share about. That's what 80% of my posts are going to be surrounded by. The motivation, just my daily connection with people is going to be centered around those concepts. It's not all going to be centered around just talking about Beachbody, because then I become white noise and I become like everybody else. Okay, I want to be Brittany. I want to be me. I want people to know my brand. I want people to know who I am. I want them to be attracted to me because of what I offer. So I encourage you to find 3 or 4 words that really do describe you and your brand, and embrace all of that, because the followers want to know about you. When I started Run to Your Happy Place, insert plug if you don't already follow me, but when I started Run to Your Happy Place, guys, it wasn't the same as what it is today, because I had one foot in and I had a timid foot out, because I was afraid. I was afraid of what people might think if I actually told them some truth. But you know what? When I finally opened up and let people know that sometimes I'm depressed and I have to battle depression, and when I finally opened up and told people, you know what? I'm weary, or I was worried to come out about my faith, and that I didn't feel like I had a strong faith base, but here I am, I'm going to learn and I'm going to grow. And when I came out and I told people that, the changes that happen, the followers that they want you, they want to know that. When I'm real, when I'm raw, when I tell them who I am, that's when they hold on tight to me and they don't let go. And guess what? That's also when people, in Chalene Johnson's words, get out of the car. They get out of the car. I sent out a newsletter today for May, and immediately I started getting back everybody who unsubscribed to my newsletter. Immediately it starts emailing me, so-and-so unsubscribed, and it tells you the reason, like, this is spammy. So-and-so unsubscribed, didn't sign up for this list, and it tells you like why they unsubscribed from you. And it cracked me up, because all I could think of in my head was, get out of the car. Just get out of the car. I don't want you in my car, because you're draining my batteries. Like my energy is drained when you're in my car. So get them out of the car. If somebody stops following you, bye. They didn't want to follow you anyway. If somebody hates on what you're doing, bye, because they're not going to buy into it ever. You know what I mean? And if they ever do, they will circle right on back. They will find a way to get back in your car, and they'll make sure that they right their wrongs in order to actually have a seat with you. You know what I'm saying? So let people go. Bless and let go. It's not a big deal. I think sometimes we get caught up so much on those things when we're building a brand, that we just want everybody to like our brand. I want everyone to love me. I'm totally naive to that. I don't understand if you don't want to be my friend. I thought I was cool, but it's okay. Not everybody's going to like me, just like I'm not going to like gel with everybody else, right? And like I kind of touched on, allow your brand to change with the seasons. Maybe you're pregnant right now. Embrace that. Share that. Do that journey. And then you're a new mom, or you've got the little one and maybe an older one, and that balance. Talk about that. Maybe you're in college right now, or just fresh out of college. Talk to the people who are in your circle. Talk to the people who get you, who are just like you. Okay? I think I'm going to skip totally, because I'm going to skip to this one. I told you, I just wrote this like gibberish. So on that note, what is your story, guys? If you're running this race, just like with all that you can do, what is your story? I want you to be bold about it. Don't be shy. Don't be shy about your story. You never have to apologize for it. Sometimes we're in a place where we can't talk about our story just yet, because it hasn't completely finished. Like, we're in the story, you know what I mean? But really, I want you to open up your eyes and bring awareness to that, to when your story kind of comes to an end and you can finally start talking about it and sharing about it because you have some insight. Or maybe when you finally have an epiphany moment, maybe in the middle of the storm, and you can talk through it. But there's somebody out there, this is so important, there's somebody out there who is an older version of you. They are you from like 2 years ago. So like when I talk to people, 2.5 years ago, Brittany, that woman was like alone, confused, sad, angry. She was a lot of things. She was worried. I'm still a lot of those things, but in a different way. And I have a total different like knowledge base now that I'm here 2.5 years later. So who I'm talking to, I want to talk and target to that woman that I was, and I want to grab them and I want to take them with me and say, it's okay. Like I've been there. I know what you're going through. Now come with me because I can help you get out of that. And so whatever it is for you, if it's a journey through a pregnancy, or it's being a mom, or it's a faith journey, or it's just maybe you're struggling with a breakup right now, or maybe you've been single for a long time, and whatever it can be for you. And I'm talking like through woman kinds of things, right? But I guess that's what we're attracted to. Women want to know that there's another woman out there that gets them, that we're not alone. So find that older version of you because she needs you. She needs you so bad. You have the insight that she needs. And get better. Get better at something. Whatever you're not good at right now, get better at that and then share that transformation. So whatever you're in right now, get better at it and then share that as you go. Okay? All right, I skipped around, so now I gotta like skip myself back. Oh, man, guys, this is good. Your business is going to have extreme, when I say extreme, I mean, I'm saying extreme ups and extreme downs. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in this business. So you got to get used to it. And it's hard for me to say get used to it because I don't know if you ever can get used to those low lows in the way you feel sometimes, but you have to learn how to embrace that when it comes. Whenever you're at the bottom of this Beachbody pit, when nobody's answering your inquiries, when no one's connecting with you, when you feel like you're talking to a wall, you're just posting and no one likes your post, and you ask people to be part of a challenge group and nobody wants to join your challenge group, and you can't hit Success Club month after month and you just don't know what's going on, and for the life of you can't seem to get to Emerald. Like nobody wants to be a coach with you, but you know you've got a heart and a passion inside, and there's something in you that's just hanging on by that thread. I mean, keep hanging on by that thread. Embrace that you're in that low moment, because guys, life is like a pendulum. Okay? Life is like a pendulum. If we swing slightly into something that's uncomfortable, most of us want to swing right back and feel comfortable. Okay? But let me tell you, if you only swing a little bit to one side of being uncomfortable, you're only going to get back as much as you swung on the negative side. So sometimes you have to swing into some pretty heavy lows so that you can use that momentum to swing yourself back into some really high highs. And it's so true. It is so, so true. In whatever like love, hate, fear, courage aspect you want to look at it in, it is a metaphor for all of it. Okay, but in this business, when you swing really low, like you asked 100 people and all 100 said no, man, it's going to swing back. It's going to swing back. I'm going to tell you a really true story right now so that you know that I'm not just full of it. Guys, over the last 2 weeks of our last month, my goal one of my goals in April was to add 100 new friends to my actual page. And I worked on that and I did that this month. But beyond that, I was going to invite 50 people these last 2 weeks to my challenge group. 50 people in my challenge group. And I mean, I had one-on-one invites, like you and me, and I'm talking to you and you're talking to me, and I invited you. And of those 50 people that I invited, I'm pretty sure that only 7 of them spoke back to me. I think 7 was the actual ending answer. 7 spoke back to me. And you know how many bought a challenge pack for the month of April? 0. I'm going to tell you this because I haven't missed Success Club since, when was the last time? I have been in part of Success Club since January of 2014. So I haven't missed Success Club since 12, 13, 14, 15 months straight. This would have been month 16 straight. And I lost it. 0. And I didn't lose it because I didn't try. Man, I tried. And I swung. Charlie would come home. Charlie's my fiance. Charlie would come home and I'm like, baby, I am the lowest of lows right now. Like literally nobody wants to be part of my group. Literally nobody is talking to me. Like I've tried so many people. I talked to so many people, guys, so low. But you know what? All I can think is that May is going to be so high for me, right? So when you get discouraged, guys, be like, know that all of us get discouraged. All of us here know. All of us, quote unquote, fail. But I ran a really long relay race this weekend. And I'm super thankful that I get to sit right now because my legs hurt so bad. But when I was running, aside from thinking of how badly my legs were on fire and I just wanted to stop running and quit, as much as I wanted to do that, I kept thinking about courage and fear and how a lot of people think when you have courage that it's absent of fear. That, man, she's just courageous. She's just bold. She's just out there. Things just don't bother her. She doesn't have to worry about stuff. She's not afraid, right? But guys, the people who have the most courage have the most fear because they have to face it head on. Face it head on. So I encourage you with that one, you've got to embrace those ups and you've got to embrace the downs, okay? And whenever you hit those downs, remember that last up. Remember how it felt the last time you were like super excited in your business. Write it down. Take note of it so that you don't forget on those days when it's like banging your head against the wall, pulling your hair out, and you just feel like, man, nobody cares, right? People do. They need you. So don't give up, okay? On that note, be a tortoise, guys, if you're a tortoise, and be a hare if you're a hare. I'm a tortoise. I'm totally a tortoise. Okay. Be who you are. Be a tortoise. If you're going to go slow and steady, then man, by golly, go slow and steady, but own it and go slow and steady. Don't just go slow. You can't forget the steady part. That's consistency, right? If you're the hare, be the hare. Go crazy. Go at it. Hit, freaking diamond your first month and everybody's going to look at you super jealous because how do you do that? But be what you're going to be. Embrace what route you're going to take. Are you going to go slow and steady? Like I said, that doesn't mean you just go slow. That doesn't mean, well, I'll get there one day. No, that means you go slow, but every day you are pounding it out, right? Like the tortoise. And then you're going to get there. You're going to get to that finish line. If you're going to go fast, you still have to be consistent. Okay. You still have to be consistent. Even when you get to that finish line, there's going to be another race. Like runners are crazy because they hit a finish line and then they want to sign up for the next race. So even if you're the hare and you get to that finish line before everybody else, there's going to be another race to sign up for, another season of life. Just keep going. The one thing though is just don't compare. Don't compare. That's totally our thief of joy, guys. A lot of times in this business, when I start comparing myself to, man, but she did that already, or she did that, or I should be doing that like her. Once I start doing that, man, it takes the joy out of what I'm doing. I'm not me anymore. I'm not running my race. I have to run my race, the race that Brittany was given. And each of you have to run the race you were given for this business. You can be inspired by other people's work though. You can look at other people. Man, I look at top coaches and I get inspired by their work, but I have stopped allowing myself to compare their work to my work because it just doesn't benefit me, right? Okay, moving on. I'm so close and time is ticking and I love it, but I am close, so this is good. Oh, yes, this is perfect. This is good segue because we just talked about steady, right? Slow and steady or fast and steady, whatever you want to do. Steady is the key. Don't be a once in a while chick. If you're on this call tonight, please take something away from me. Don't be a once in a while chick. Like, don't post once in a while. Don't do your workout once in a while. Don't drink your shake once in a while. Don't read your personal development once in a while. You see where I'm going with this? I really could go for an hour talking about once in a while. But seriously, guys, don't be once in a while. You've got to be consistent. I think the reason I'm still standing this business and I'm here today to chat with you is because I haven't quit. There's never been a day that I woke up and I'm like, yeah, I'm just not going to post today. I'm not feeling it. There are days I don't post because, sometimes like on a Sunday, nobody's going to even it's not the do all end all. Like if I don't post, the world's crumbling down. No, but when it matters, I'm there. I'm on social media. I'm connecting. I am consistently engaged on there with people. People know that they can come to my page and they can find exactly what they're looking for. It wouldn't be like 2 weeks ago, she posted something and then now came back saying she's got a challenge group. Guys, you've got to plug it out and dig deep every single day. It's like a fountain. It's like a well, right? Like you pump that water well and like you're pumping it so hard and every day it's like pump, pump, pump and like nothing, it's dry. But if you just keep pumping that well, all of a sudden you're going to get like one little drop, right? One little drop comes out and you're like, woohoo, there's a sign of hope. But you still have to keep working, right? And then it's gonna, the water starts to just flow. It really does. But you've got to continue being consistent. You've got to stay consistent. So consistency with your posting every day, multiple times throughout the day, working out regularly and sharing about it, reading daily to grow yourself. Guys, being on every call that your team offers. This was a game changer for me. When I started the business, it was like, okay, well, this is the call that Michelle Myers hosts, and this is the call that Emily hosts, and that's when you're expected to be on. And I just did that because I wanted to learn from the people who already knew, who had already been down this path. I was hungry to just learn from those people. So that was a non-negotiable for me. I just got on the calls. And it went hand in hand because I started to learn things that, like, man, I love Emily and she pours into me, but she has to pour into so many people, right? So it would be selfish of me to just have Emily only teach me, Emily. Nobody else needs to learn. Just spend your time only on me. No, you have to take ownership of your education in this business too. And that's what every coach has to do. Of course, our coaches are going to be there to help us and support us and give us resources if we need them and answer questions when we've got them. But you've got to be on the calls because there's so many golden nuggets associated with the National Wake Up Call and any live calls that Michelle Myers does on Team Iron, every Monday night call that Emily hosts. If you have an upline who hosts their own team calls, being on those on their special unique day, that is crucial to growing, okay? Because you're going to learn so much more in such a quicker time by just connecting. And being consistent with talking to new people, opening up dialogue, and adding to your network. Never stop adding to your network, guys. And adding to your network, that simply just means putting people in, right? Adding friends, friend requesting people and adding them. And like I said, the people who need to be there will stay and they'll hang on tight because they love you. And the people who don't, they're going to get out of that car. Okay. But again, this is your race. This is your race. And my goal tonight was to just kind of show you that all of us are on a similar path and a similar race. So you never need to feel alone in this. But that this race, it's yours. And you've got to just hold on to it, hold the steering wheel and just go with it, because there's truly nothing better in your life, nothing more transforming that I have found than Beachbody. Transforms you from the inside out. It's amazing. So that's all for the content. I'm going to open and unmute everything in case anybody has questions they want to ask me, because we've got about 5 minutes or so left. Nobody? No questions?
I'll ask a question.
Yay!
What professional development book are you reading right now? And if you already said that in the beginning of the call and I missed it, I'm sorry.
I didn't. Okay, so I have Girl Code that I'm reading right now. I like to go back and forth between business related books and also like really empowering like girl power books, because I just personally need those. So that's what I'm reading is Girl Code. But I was reading Start With Why, which is really good. And what's the book? I'm putting you on the spot. Katie, what's the book that we're reading or that you're reading that I need to be reading?
It's Breakthrough Your BS.
Breakthrough Your BS. Thank you. Yay, she passed the test.
Oh, I was actually going to ask you about that. If we were going to, like the three of us that agreed to start reading it, if we were going to like get on that, or what was going to go on with that.
Yeah. So we decided over on my team page, Kayla found this book through Tony Horton's page called Breakthrough Your BS that looks really great. So we all got it on our Kindles because it was super cheap. So if you guys want to, I haven't started it yet. It's on my Kindle. It's locked and loaded, ready to go. Katie's got it. I know Kayla's got it. And we'd love to do a reading group if anybody wants to join us with Breakthrough Your BS.
Thank you.
No problem. I got 3 minutes, guys. Anyone?
What workout program are you currently doing?
Okay, so I finished Hammer and Chisel, and then I dove into 22-minute hardcore because I wanted to get my fiance's butt off the couch. And that in 22 minutes he totally could. And he totally is. And he's losing so much weight. And I'm gaining weight right now, guys. Like, I feel so bloated because hammer and chisel and 22-minute hardcore are not on the same level. So I'm going to need to go back to something pretty intense when I'm done with this. But I cannot show my afters. That's not going to be a good idea because I gained weight. Yep, 22-minute.
Cool.
Which one are you doing?
I'm on 21-day fix.
Nice.
Started
Sounds
slow.
great.
Yeah, trying to slow and steady.
Absolutely. That one's awesome. And like Kayla, I know she's on the call right now. She did 21-day fix.
Yeah.
Kayla, how many rounds did you do, girl?
3 or 4.
Awesome.
And how many pounds are you at now?
I think I'm up to 40.
Wow.
40 off. I would like it to be a little bit more, but it's just trying to work on different things. So
Kayla, 40 is a lot, girl.
Wow.
That is amazing.
That's awesome.
Okay, well, it says less than a minute. I don't want to cut us off, but I just want to formally thank you guys so much for being on. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I hope you took something from that tonight. I know it was a lot of random stuff, but I love you all. You guys are awesome. And if you have questions, send them my way. I'm going to put this link up on Team 180 when we're done here, okay? Have a great night, everybody, okay?
Thanks. Have a good night. Bye.